Welcome back to Carbonite Ultra U. In this video, we're going to hammer out another quick one covering the GPIO. What is it? How do we use it? And how do I configure it? Let's get into it. First up, where are the GPIOs? Well, if we go to the Getting Started guide, which we can get to on the website or of course has come with your product, you're going to find that there is a DB25 connector on the back labeled GPIO. This is the general purpose interface, and these are actually bidirectional pins, so they can be set up as either an input or an output. You just have to make sure that you wire it accordingly. When we slide over and look at a GPI, so it is a female DB25 that is on the back of the switcher. You're going to wire to a male connector. We do include these connectors inside of the baggie. They have a direct pin correlation. GPI in or out 1 is pin 1 through pin 24, and you will find the common ground on 25. Now, obviously, it'll probably be a lot easier to take this to a breakout. Now that we know where they are, let's jump into dashboard and configure them. Absolutely, you can do this on the physical panel as well, but as we've seen, dashboard makes things easy. Let's jump to the configuration menu and we'll go to our GPIO tab. Now they list off exactly currently what it is. So GPIO 1, pin 1, is currently set to a GPI, so it is an input. You can see down here, 8 is set to an output. It will then tell you the function that will be triggered based on its current setup. If I want to change this, I click on the edit button. I can either set it up to be an in or set it up to be an out. If it's a GPI input, I can pick no event. Well, why would you have this? Well, this was actually something that we enabled for some users who wanted to be able to use a custom control to enable and disable GPIs individually on the fly. So this was a quick way to set it to none, and then they could always set it back. The type of events can be a custom control. Now this one I like to use a lot because if there's anything on the switcher I want to do that isn't one of these direct functions, well, I can just build that into a custom control. Next up, you can recall a memory. This recalls all inclusions, all MEs, all mini MEs, all canvases, all chroma keys. You do not have the ability through one of these to call an individual ME recall. Again, if I want to do that, hop on over, build a custom control. I can also trigger fade to black. When we fade to black, what the switcher actually does is it puts black on your preset bus, transitions all keys off, and the background bus to black. I can assign any ME cut of any ME or canvas, any ME auto trans, any key cut, any key auto trans. I can set up any aux bus to switch to any source. These are great when I want to do CCU overrides. So I can wire connectors from my camera control units to the GPI control, and now I can press that button on the camera controller and it will switch the aux bus that is feeding my waveform and vector scope. Also, as a GPI, what's great about them is they'll either trigger on a voltage or they'll also trigger on just a short to ground, by the way. So if you just short pin 1 to the ground pin, it's going to fire that off. If instead I set it up as an output category, I can go ahead and set whether it's supposed to be a level trigger and whether it does level low or level high. I can also set up the mode to be a normal or a tally mode. Now this one's kind of neat. This allowed devices that were not able to do a open collector where they supplied the voltage, but instead they wanted a tally, but they needed a tally to actually do the voltage supply. Well, I can now set it up as a tally mode. Now when I go into my tally menu, this GPIO will be available to attach to that device. Pretty cool. Finally, you also have an edge mode. Tally mode cannot be invoked with edge mode because tally mode is a state. It's either on or it's off based on the source. It's automatically going to turn it back to normal if I go into edge mode. Edge mode is going to allow us to either go from a high to a low or from a low to a high, and then how many frames it will stay active before it goes back to the opposite state. So this is essentially providing a pulse. And for a lot of devices, they don't want to be held high until you set it back low. Instead, they just want to be triggered and left alone. So this is fantastic. It allows us to easily tie this in. The minimum number of frames it needs to be that it's in that active state or in that edge state for the device to trigger 100% of the time. So there you have it. Setting up your GPIs and GPOs. It's a very straightforward thing. Takes no time at all. And if you look at some of the other videos, you can see how you can either attach it to sources or use it in your custom controls. Thanks for watching, and as always, any comments, requests, or questions, well, send them over to switchers@rossvideo.com. Have a great day.